we've lost two of those brothers, unfortunately. One recently, about a month ago, from lung cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Another brother from a preventable health issue. He had an abscess and he was in hospital, and the old male ego signed himself out. I don't need this, I'm right. Went home and bled to death on his lounge room floor. But the brother you spoke about, mother had leukemia. She's probably years into her treatment, and she ended up writing out the family tree because they had to do bone marrow and then test your blood and whatever else and see if it matched up and helped her. And she'd written out David, and I was like, who the F is David? I think this medication is getting to her, you know. And she ended up telling me, the aunties look at me funny, like, oh, I'll let your mum tell you. I ended up finding out I had a brother I never knew about. We find out through link up that we've got a number that we can contact him through. I ring him, he's in Tasmania. I ring up, I say, is that David? They go, yeah. Oh, he's not here. I said, how old's David? They go, 65. I was like, oh, no, wrong person. They go, are you talking about young David? I'm like, yes. And they go, is this Jeffrey? And I'm like, oh my God. So it was, they obviously knew at some point in time I'd come looking for my brother, and fly him up to Sydney. I'm heavily involved in crime at that point in time. I said, I'm going out, I'll be back. I'll see you in the morning. We go out all night. We get up to probably no good. I go to come back and pick him up, take him to the hospital to see mum for the first time since he was adopted out. And I ring him up and say, mate, you ready? I'm coming in to pick you up. And he goes, oh, hi, mum, how are you? The police are here looking for Jeffrey. I'm going to head down to Arnie's house where I was going to go, and I'll meet you there, mum. And I was like, what the heck? So the first meeting and encounter, I meet him, I dump him at my house. This is how toxic I was. My own brother, I didn't stick with him. I go out and commit crime. I come back that morning to pick him up. Police are there raiding the house. He's up against the wall, and they're tossing the house upside down. And that's his introduction to his brother. Pretty crazy. And and it was normal. I didn't even think nothing. I was like, whatever. And I go, don't worry about him, bro. Like, stuff him. And that sort of attitude back then. And just shows you how, and that's why if we don't seek to understand why people are built that way. And I was just a young kid in survival mode that went into, now I've got to be violent to protect myself when I'm in custody. And that violence, remember, if you got violence here, when you come outside and you got someone wants to mess with you, well, I've got violence and it's my first response. I'm cool with that. Just know that I'm going to go to the end. And when I say the end, I'll take my life if I have to. And it's pretty crazy that we as humans get into that nature. Imagine we use that same, I'm going to go to the end, but in your business, life, relationships, success, inner peace, happiness, priceless. Absolutely. So I just grabbed that quality and said, instead of being destructive or violent with it, let's use it in a constructive way. And I flipped that. And the brother, unfortunately, I haven't seen that brother for a period of time. He's someone who does Greenpeace, or goes into the forest and connects with traditional natives, I suppose. Or it could be in the Amazon. But I haven't heard from him for a period of time, and I was actually thinking about reporting him missing to the police because it's been some time since he's got in contact. And as much as he's hippie and laid back, Byron Bayish, at the same time, I'd like to know where he is. And it's just been, me and my sister were talking about it at our brother's funeral, and he hasn't been active on Facebook, but he might be back in Tassie and just enjoying life. I just don't know.